Welcome back. This is TV3 New Day, and it's a special International Women's Day edition. We started our conversation about 40 minutes ago, speaking to Jifa, to Mona, and to Aisha. We're talking about how they have managed to get to this point in their careers. Of course, very established media personalities. Jifa for over a decade, in fact, 2 decades, right? She's been in the media space. She was running affairs for a very long time, took a bit of a break, came back, and is still running affairs. Aisha is here. When it comes to evening news, of course, you know that you cannot watch any other but News 360. She is very good at her job, speaks very impeccable English, and, of course, all the extras that come with it, but she's really good. And Mona as well when it comes to entertainment, of course. And you get a bit of controversy here and there. I think now she's toned down a bit, or you're about to unleash the dragon.
I've met Christ.
You met Christ. All along you didn't know Christ. So now
I'm repenting.
we'll get a Christian Mona. Hallelujah, somebody. But let's come back to Jifa. She was just telling us an interesting story about how she was rejected for being too small, you know, in her first attempt to even move to another media house from GBC. Tell us about it.
So that time, it was a challenging time, I must admit, between the year 2001 to 2003. I actually had 2 rejects. In fact, I would say 3, even though 2 was from the same media house, which was multimedia. So the other one was from TV3.
You've been rejected by TV3 before?
Oh, yes.
We'll get to that.
But at that time, but truth be told, when I look back on that particular interview, I don't think I did well.
Okay.
So when I didn't get the job, within myself, I knew that, okay, I don't think I prepared well for that. The things were difficult in GBC for me at that time. Government had changed, and sometimes when you carry a certain name, you are perceived in a certain fashion. So no one was, and it wasn't just me, it was the bunch of us who were there at the time government changed in 2001. And so a lot of us were removed, taken off a yes. I have to say it because it's the truth. But you see, life always throws you these cannonballs and you have to decide what you do with it. And the truth is, there are some of my colleagues who were removed at that time. Probably if they weren't, they wouldn't be doing the wonderful things they do today. Some people went abroad, went to pursue their masters. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, but I was quite unhappy. So I decided, okay, let me try other media houses. So I tried, at that time it was just Joy FM, it was a multimedia group. So I tried, I thought I did okay, but they didn't take me. But the way I was sized up, I felt like it was because I was smallish. In addition, they didn't think that, oh, this one, she can really do this work. Then there was another opportunity. I tried again. And then I got a sense that, are you sure you can really do this and all that? So I went back, told my mom, and she told me, you know, if this is the feeling you have, then maybe you shouldn't take the job. Because then there's nothing you would do that would impress. So against what I felt was better judgment, I took my mother's advice. And you know, sometimes when older people speak to us, we should listen to them. Because they can see something you can't. So I listened to her and stayed in GBC. By that time, things took a turn for the better. I got a morning show on, at that time they changed the station to Unique FM, so I was hosting the Unique Breakfast Drive at that time. And then the current director of TV at GBC, George Lomote, came to me with a youth show called Next Level. I was a radio person, so I said, all right, let's try this and see. So it was a great show, but that was what made me know that I didn't want to do TV, because suddenly I went from being an ordinary person in my church to people saying, oh, I watched your show last night, and I really just wanted to be a simple person. Yes.
You didn't want to be popular?
No.
Do you know how many young people would kill for that?
That's the irony. They say that, I would say that fame may not seem like it's anything, but it's something to those who don't have it. So I did the show for 2 years. It was good. And then I moved on to do my master's. And I used that as an excuse to get out of doing the program. So I was away, did my master's, and just as I wrapped up, Kofi Owusu, who is the current GM for GNA, asked me to join Joy again. So I asked him, "Are you guys serious?" He said, "Oh, this one, no libi." So
and he was aware when you were rejected because he was still
I
there
told
at that time.
I like to be honest with people.
Okay.
So I told him. Then he said, "Oh, I shouldn't worry." So him, Kenashigbe, it was just a formal conversation.
Okay.
And then that's how I joined multimedia in 2005. So I'd been in GBC for 8 years, doing different things, and it was a good move at the time.
Yeah.
Even though there were many who tried to discourage me, because they felt it was going to be a lot of hard work. Not because I wasn't prone to hard work, but you know, the private sector is different from the government sector.
Yeah.
The government sector, things are slightly easier, and you don't have to work, 60-hour working week, that kind of thing. So it's not always about how much more you are paid. But I wanted to give my career a boost, because there were things in GBC that I was doing that I wanted to do that I could not do. Yeah. There were certain interviews I would have liked to do, and I knew that I wouldn't be allowed to.
Why wouldn't you be allowed?
I mean, there are certain things that you just want to keep an equilibrium when you are in a state broadcaster. You don't want to do things that may be deemed controversial or pursue story angles that may, quote unquote, hurt the government in office and all that. But in a private environment, you are freer to pursue your angles once it's the truth. Yeah. Once you're not biased, and once you have your facts right, nobody will stand in your way. So that was what gave my career a boost, and I was ready to do the more difficult job, which is news and current affairs. It's tough.
Why do you call it more difficult?
Because a lot of the time, in the experience I have seen over the years, when women come into the media, sometimes it's almost like they want the easier thing. It's like they want to just do an entertainment show. There is no controversy that people will attack you. You know, when you engage politicians, it's a whole new ball game. And you'll be deemed to be political, you'll be deemed to be biased, you'll be accused of favoring one side over the other. There will be personality attacks, there will be criticisms of you. The irony is the work we do as media is done in the public. There are many people working in their offices, their work is not in the public. So if they mess up in their office, no one knows. But when you're doing this job and you don't speak properly, or you engage a politician and it goes bust, then suddenly you become the bad person. You, the presenter, or you, the journalist. And so not many of us women, when I entered the Joy newsroom, there were only 3 of us women. Matilda Santi, Araba Kumson, I was employed with Araba. And then myself. Really, we were the women.
Did they give you the room to grow as women?
Oh, yes. Yes. You know, and you were encouraged to. And unless you are not competitive, then you will fall by the wayside. And naturally, I'm a bit of a competitive person. So if it's that interview, I want it. If it's that news item that will give the bulletin a lift, I want it. So that for me is the difference I see. And what I always, and maybe that's the reason why I stayed a radio journalist, because there's a perception that a lot of us women who may be on TV, you are beauty without brains. And depending on the program you do, it may feed into that perception. We don't have a lot of women doing hard news. Even the entertainment news now, at least it's become controversial. Thanks to the likes of Monaguchi. It's become controversial. So depending on how the person handles themselves, they also become a talking point. So I must admit, a lot has changed over the 25 years I've been working. But still, I personally feel that if you're a woman, and a lot of the time, if you want good name recognition, you want respect, you will have to do some strong politics, some strong current affairs, because those are the issues that really drive a lot of the things that are happening. I think that's...
Mona, do you agree? Because you are through and through entertainment, right? Nothing politics, no current affairs or anything of that sort.
Yes, because I just thought about it. If I want to do politics, I think I'm going to die quite early.
You die early, why?
Because even with the showbiz or with the entertainment, I'm trying to make things right. I'm trying to put the truth where it ought to be. And they want to even eat me up. So imagine a politician doing something wrong and then I come hitting them so hard. they are just going to attack me and kill me.
So
I don't want to do politics.
But do you feel like, for like what Jifa said, for a lot of women who come into the industry, the media industry, it looks like they look for an easy way out, and so they choose entertainment over the very hard stuff, hard conversations?
Yes, Jifa is 100% right. You need to have the technical know-how if you want to venture into politics. Well, I can do politics so easily. I just don't want to. But come to think of it, the way I'm suffering now in this current, government, regime, I think in 2024 I need to start doing politics.
You're going to start doing politics in 2024, yes. So you're ready to die early.
Now I think Jesus said if you want to follow him, you should emulate him. You should carry your cross and then, follow him.
So Jesus was not hosting any political talk show. So I don't know which cross you're going to carry.
Well, but back to it, Bella. I think the women in the industry, always go for the easier side, that is the entertainment. Probably you sit down or you go on social media, fetch the news, and then you come and then talk about it, elaborate on it, exaggerate on it, or even probably go beyond the truth. Yes.
Yeah.
And it's so cheap. If you want to put some or throw some challenge to yourself, why don't you venture into politics? Why don't you do hard politics?
Are we not downplaying the essence of entertainment news and the entertainment industry?
No, Bella, you see, I'm not going to sugarcoat this, right? We shouldn't exalt entertainment too much in Ghana. Showbiz isn't doing well in Ghana. That's the honest truth. Unlike America, where showbiz fetch them like majority of their income. Do you understand? Because you have all these superstars paying their taxes to the government, and that's a lot of money. Ask yourself, here in Ghana, on a scale of 100%, showbiz will take like 40. In fact, 30%. So if we want to make showbiz stand, or someone saying, okay, oh, that's Bella on TV. If you want Bella, you should have like $200,000 to be able to pay Bella to come MC a show. Then it means entertainment is getting somewhere, or showbiz is getting somewhere.
Did you say $200,000?
Exactly.
Hallelujah, somebody. We're waiting for that day.
So it means
even me late.
You get it. Then it means showbiz is getting somewhere. So if we want to make showbiz like an A game, then I think we all need to go back to the drawing board. Let's go grab our chalks, let's go grab our markers, and then rewrite entertainment again before the industry comes. Where is the movie industry? Where is it? Nobody should tell me it's about COVID. COVID has done nothing to the movie industry. COVID was there, but Hollywood, they are still shooting movies. Indians are still shooting their movies. Even Nigerians are still shooting. So what excuse are the Ghanaians giving us? Oh, COVID didn't,
Lack of investment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because most of these people are not disciplined. You present a proposal to a company, I want you to invest in this movie, and probably the company gives you that amount of money, and then you go and you bring, excuse my French, a stupid thing, a stupid movie. And the company is not benefiting. Do you think they are going to invest next time? Now, we are in the era where somebody can just get iPhone 30 Pro Max and then hang it on, one of these tripods, and then the movie is done. Within 3 days, movie is shot, edited, and then they are promoting it.
And that's wrong.
It is wrong.
But there are a lot of creatives who are shooting documentaries just with their phones.
It is not even about the phone. It is about
the time?
The timing.
Okay.
How they are so much in a hurry to make money, and then the kind of whack jobs they do. But most of the movies that come out, I think one time, one of these Kumaud movie was aired, I think on one of the Hollywood news, and even the animation that they were trying to portray, these people were laughing at us. Do you get it? Once upon a time, Abdul Salam Mumuni was doing the best for the Ghanaian movie industry. Through Venus Films, we've had a lot of stars.
Yeah.
And even the Nigerians were able to even come for them. But you see, when you want to read the genesis of even movie acting, Ghanaians started acting before the Nigerians.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm told they used to come and learn from us.
They
were coming here a lot of times. But how do you, I don't think you're blaming the, women who have chosen to do entertainment on the lack of movies. But I'm just asking because, again, are we not downplaying entertainment if we say that it's easier for women to want to do entertainment over politics? Because maybe if the industry players, like you're saying, we're also doing their part, then we will not look down on entertainment and think that if you're not doing a political talk show, a current affairs, show, then you're not that great. And I got that a lot because I started with entertainment.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people would say, oh, you're doing well. But it was not until I started doing the morning show they were like, I didn't know you were this intelligent. And I'm looking at them like, but I was doing entertainment. I was also fetching the news and stuff. Why did you not regard me as intelligent then?
Yes.
Why do you think that because of politics, now I'm showing my intelligence?
Bella, I think I would just say this publicly. I know people are watching. You are indeed an intelligent girl, even when you were doing your entertainment stuff. I watched one of the morning shows before I came here. You were interviewing one politician, and then I liked how you were throwing the questions. The questions were like stray bullets. That because you were giving the questions in a very calm way. Nobody is seeing that these are strong punchlines. And there are so many young girls now, they want to venture into what you're doing, and sometimes they end up embarrassing themselves. I don't want to mention names. They sit down and then they bring names. Politicians, and then they bring politicians because, yes, politicians will come and sit down, and then at the end of the day, the politician is even speaking English that you don't understand. You cannot even decode the English. So then, people like that, they need to move you to the entertainment segment, because there, your producer will go on social media and bring cheap news.
But that's where my problem is again.
Okay, Bella, if you don't mind, let me come in and say that.
That's what you deserve.
I agree with Mona about elevating the issues that are discussed in the entertainment space, making them matter. I mean, I'm yet to see some of the entertainment people do documentaries, for instance, about key or leading figures in the industry. If you watch E! Entertainment, for instance, or Black Entertainment TV, they do documentaries about entertainment issues that you wouldn't even think this deserved a documentary. It's because it must be elevated to a certain level that then requires information that someone would have gathered or someone displays knowledge of. The challenge with doing the political and current affairs shows is that you need to arm yourself with information. And if you don't read enough, you'll be found wanting. So that is why sometimes it seems as if you are in that space, you are deemed more intelligent or you demonstrate a certain knowledge. But I think that there are lots of issues in the entertainment space that are not being well covered. I don't think that they are getting the journalists' attention that they deserve.
The entertainment people, I think they, like Bella rightly said, they want to do it because they think it's easy. It's cheap. It is cheap because no one is ready.
They are doing
exactly. It's about time.
It's cheap.
It's about time, like Jifa rightly said. We need to. There are certain things or there are certain issues in the showbiz that we need to address. We need to face it. Do you understand? Because we've heard about maybe a veteran actor who is somewhere in the outskirts of town and probably battling glaucoma. Yes. So as an entertainment journalist, what should you do? Why don't you go there, do a documentary? Like, why do we always want to sit down and then be relying on social media to give us the entertainment news? Why don't you go fetch the news?
Do
you get it?
I get what you mean.
So it makes young girls want to do entertainment. Nowadays, you see them with YouTube, and then they sit down and then they start talking, and they said, Facebook, we saw this, you see, Kelvin Taylor has done this, has done. It's cheap. Everybody can do it. I can sit in my room and do same. Do you understand? But if you want to bring the news, if you want showbiz to matter, go and fetch the news from the entertainment industry.
Okay,
because when the news come, that is when we will have people to help us in the showbiz industry.
How have you overcome the obstacles along the way? Because I know that reading the news is not an easy thing, and being in the newsroom, especially with bosses like Jifa, she said she's competitive, so I can imagine how she pushes you all to also fetch the news, and you need to bring something worthwhile and worth going on News 360, for example. How have you managed over time?
Let me just say that I don't think the rules are different for journalists who are doing entertainment and those that are doing hardcore news. For instance, you started doing lifestyle, and I think we need to know the difference. You know, someone, I mean, just bringing on Kelvin Boyd to talk about the release of his song is not the same as maybe talking about International Women's Day. Lifestyle, you know, and you started really well. I've watched you so many times. And then when you were tasked to do something different, you've even killed it. I started doing entertainment myself, but news, entertainment news.
Okay.
So you see, down here, we've limited it to just picking up something Mona said on social media.
Yeah.
Or if you're Schwarzenegger's reply to her, and then that's the news. But there's much more to it. I mean, if you check the TMZ's gossip website, but you can read like incredible stuff on there as well. The Shade Room on Instagram, you can get, you would be surprised at the things that you read there.
Yeah.
It's because we have just said we want to do music, and then the movies talk about how bad it is every day, and not how we can even change it. For me, when I came to TV3 and I was told this is the path that you are going to tour now, and I spoke to then my husband to be, now my husband, I'm like, I don't think this is something that I want to do. I'm not even interested in it. He says, well, you would have to challenge yourself. You can't be in your comfort zone for a long time.
Yeah.
So I took up the challenge, you know, and
you've done an incredible job.
Well, there's a lot of challenges that comes with it as well. The expectations of people. They need you to behave a certain way, have a certain kind of aura around you, do a certain kind of thing because you have started reading hardcore news now. You know, you joke and somebody says, why are you joking?
Yeah.
You know, there's a war going on. You should be talking about a war. They don't even care about your life. You know, you just have to do things a certain kind of way because of their expectations of you. Coming into the newsroom just gave me another understanding of myself and what I can achieve. So far, maybe I've done very little, but it's something that you should be proud of. Baby steps. I've had the likes of Isamoni, Abraham Masari, Auntie B herself, you know, call you to tell you, well, you did this, but you're supposed to do it this way. Jifa herself will call you in her office and say that, I think that next time when you are doing this, you should do it this way rather, because now this is how people look at you and all of those things. And so I don't think there's much of a difference. There's entertainment, there's hardcore news. But then I think it's the way that we are reporting it down here or making it seem down here as journalists or now even presenters, people that, you know, just have their phones on YouTube, call themselves journalists as well. But I also think that if we're able to look at what is done internationally, we'll see that it's like, there's no much of a difference between entertainment and then hardcore politics.
If that's the case for you, because there's this bias again, and of course because you're a Muslim woman, I can imagine the expectations that, like you talked about, people had of you and still have of you, and how you've had to challenge those expectations and say that this is me, this is how I intend to be, and I don't expect you to want to change me for a different kind of person. That aside, being a woman in the newsroom and the fact that a lot of people think you cannot do the late night reports because you're supposed to be home, you're a woman, you know, you cannot be out there on the field. Tell me about those challenges.
It always boils down to what people want you to be, what they see you to be, and they want you to stick to it. When I started reading or started working on TV, there was a lot of backlash, of course, from some Muslims about not covering my hair, not wearing some type of clothes. It was very difficult. I remember talking to Yaofosula Bikawawa one time, and he was like, you know what, I think one thing that would work for you is not to even watch your comment section on social media because it will just, you know, bring you down.
They were attacking you
for
not covering your hair.
Oh yes, I get attacked all the time. Yes, and even now, how I'm doing it is still not satisfactory to people. Yes, it's not good enough. You need to be in a particular kind of look. Yeah, I know. And it can be really difficult for someone like me because, yeah, I grew up in a staunch Muslim home, but I was allowed to dress the way that I wanted to. Modest.
Yeah.
Yes, very modest. And so getting all these things from people left, right, center, because unlike the men, the women are supposed to behave in a particular kind of way.
And that's where the problem is, because they don't hold those men to such high standards as they hold women. So they expect women to do, over and above, just so they can satisfy the audience. And that's where the problem is, isn't it?
So I learned to just go by what I believe the religion is telling us to do. So like I said in the beginning, some things were instilled in me. I was told to do things in a pattern, but I read too. I know what the religion says about things. I've done it. I know that this is the way it's supposed to go.
Yeah.
But then some people also have another view when it comes to that particular thing.
Yeah.
So I just do it the way that I feel comfortable with. And along the line, my mom, my grandmom, they've been really supportive. Anytime someone called up and said, "Did you see what she was wearing on TV? Why would you allow her go on TV without her hair covered?" And that was the first thing I asked when I came to TV3. At the time, during my interview, I was told, actually, it's not our policy. We can't allow you to do it. In the beginning.
Yeah.
Fast forward, I got married. I had the conversation again. I said, well, this is where we are at. But since you have proven yourself that you are up to the task, you are allowed to do some things, and then it opens the way for upcoming young women who are looking up to you as well, because I have never seen anybody with a hijab here in Ghana on TV unless it's during Salah.
Yes.
There was actually.
There was?
Okay.
Yes.
I think Shamima.
Ramana Sharif.
Okay.
So she was on Metro TV.
Okay.
She was the first hijabi woman, and she wasn't even married at that time.
Oh, I see.
But she always used to wear her
I've
hair
never-
to read news, to report.
Right.
I think my first time was Shamima, because I
Even
used
for
to see
Shamima,
her-
I used to watch her and she didn't have it on at the time.
Okay.
At Metro TV. She didn't have it on at the time before eventually she started, doing it. But I think that there's been a lot of progress. I mean, allowing me to do it means that there'll be a lot of young ones who will come up and get that opportunity as well.
Yeah.
And that is, why we do what we do. Because if you're going to spend all the mornings and evenings here, try to impact the lives that you can as much as possible, it should come out with something useful.
Jifa, what about you? What have been the biases that you've had to fight while doing your work as a media personality?
The biases are two.
Just two.
There are conscious biases and
unconscious.
unconscious biases. I'll start with the unconscious bias, because a lot of the time when you are a female journalist, there are certain things that it's not even thought about, and it's just the way it is. So for instance, radio or TV morning shows for a long time was deemed that, who do you need for that show? You just get a guy and put him there.
Yeah.
Sometimes people don't consciously think that a woman can't do that job, So when it comes to radio morning shows, which were very popular for many years, it was just men.
The men, yeah.
I was one of the few people, together with Ekuba Kwame at GBC, who did the Unique FM Breakfast Drive. Even I always joke that even at multimedia, sometimes they need someone to do a political show, and even here I would guess, and the view is that it's a man. They don't even consider that there are women there, not intentionally. That's why it's called unconscious bias.
Yeah.
So a lot of the time the view is that this work is a man's work. So they just look for who is the man there to do it.
Yeah.
If there is no very good man, then they
follow
start
the
looking,
women.
oh, Jifa, you two, you are here. Okay, you go and do it.
Yeah.
So that is the challenge that a lot of us in the space face. The other thing that a lot of women face in this space is that the job is very tasking. It's demanding, and it's very draining. I know sometimes colleagues don't like me to say this, but it's the truth. What we do on air, or what anyone is watching right now, or what anyone may be listening to right now, just know that that is 10% of the job we do in a day. The 90% is the background work, the production work, the scripted work, the reading. It's so much. I do key points on Saturday mornings at 7. I just get about 3 hours of sleep. Yes.
3 hours of sleep a day?
Or just for key
the
Friday before key points.
Wow.
because I'm still doing, even though I'm in the
research.
newsroom where you have all the information at your disposal, it's on the platforms, you belong to other platforms. There's still a lot of reading. I end up with just about 3 hours of sleep, and I'm up, and I have to come do key points. That is something I have chosen to do.
That aside, taking care of the family.
Well, so I have 2 kids and I have a husband.
Oof.
And imagine they've had to live with this for many years.
Yeah.
It's not easy. So it's 2 things. One, you ask yourself, do I want to keep doing this? So it's one of the reasons that pushes a lot of women out of media. Because by a certain age, let's face it, you're not young anymore. And then sometimes it's just too much work. You are doing your domestics as well. When I say domestics, I don't just mean cooking and cleaning. Even managing children, homework, extracurricular activities, family requirements. There's a funeral, there's a wedding, there's just a lot going on the home front and then you spend all these hours. And it's not, they don't even, the truth is most media houses can't really afford to pay you so well. So after some time, it doesn't seem worth the amount of time you invest and the remuneration. The other bias sometimes you face maybe is sexual harassment. I'm raising it not because I haven't really faced it. I'll be honest. Maybe my time was slightly different. We didn't have many TV stations. It was just GBC in those days. Then we had radio. But it was when multi-TV was set up that I heard that there were men who would drive just to come and see some particular presenters. I don't know if that happens here at TV3 too. So
the security is too tight. Don't try driving here. But we're close to the president's office
and then people send some of the ladies text messages trying to get them to go out with them and that kind of thing. So, and then in the workplace too, I believe there is some sexual harassment as well. Some may not be intentional, some may be unconscious, and some are deliberate. So those are some of the things that also push the younger ones, especially the interns. The interns, they tend to suffer that, and sometimes they don't even tell you. You only get to know years after the fact when you meet them somewhere. Oh, you didn't stay in this job to help us. They say, oh, somebody was worrying me, or it was like this, or it was like that. So those, for me, are the challenges that women face. A man can be here the whole day, whole night. His wife will not complain. But if I do that, my husband certainly will not be happy. There are exceptions to the rule when there's elections. So I remember in my time covering elections, 3 days, I'm not at home. Because you sleep in the office, you continue. Sometimes you go home quickly to have a shower and come back. So it's tough. I always tell people that journalism isn't easy. A lot of the time the young ladies come, I want to be like you. And I tell them, no, I don't want you to be. Oh,
you say no?
I tell them no. I don't want you to be, yes. I tell them no, I don't want you to be like me. I want you to be the best version of yourself. If you want to do this job, it's a job of service. I'm sure with your program, the day show, the places you've had to travel, some of the underserved communities you've had to visit, I'm sure it hits you from time to time.
It does.
That is what I tell the young people, that this job, the truth is, it's not about the money. It gives you intrinsic value, but it's about service. If you're not ready to serve, you think you only want to look beautiful like Aisha and be famous.
But isn't that the other bias as well? And I get that a lot, because if you're a woman on TV, on radio, and you want to dress up and look nice, people seem to have a problem with it, because they say all you know is how to do your makeup, wear a wig, wear nice clothes, and come and sit on TV, and that's all there is to you. That's another bias we should also break. Because the fact that I'm on TV doesn't mean that I shouldn't want to look good. You know, the fact that I'm in some office doesn't mean I shouldn't want to look good. But you have a lot of people castigating you for even wanting to take care of yourself.
The challenge is that our economy is not very good, generally. Our Ghanaian economy is not very good. So you look like this, and someone wants to replicate the look. It costs, no, it's true. It's true. It is. They want to replicate the look, and that then starts a wave of controversy about how much it costs you to look like this on a daily basis. I'll be honest, it's one of the reasons I refused to do television for many years.
Because it'll be too costly?
Yes. Who is going to pay for it? Not me.
But you're working.
Yes, but I can't spend half my income on looking.
No, but that's not what we do.
Exactly.
We don't spend half our income.
No, but you see, no, the reason I'm saying so, no, I'm raising because for maybe, yes, this station is a big station, so they can afford to get you some clothing sponsorship.
Yeah.
They can get you a designer who wants to put their name out there. That's different. But on a normal day-to-day, people pay for their own clothes. That's the truth. I think we need to be honest.
But you'll do that anyway, whether you're on TV or not. If you're in some office, you still want to pay for clothes and hair.
Let me be honest. If the shoe I'm wearing today costs 500, maybe it's a special shoe for me today. But it's not what I will wear every day. Maybe the one I wear every day is 100 cedis, you see. But someone doesn't know that. So, unfortunately, they are looking at you and other female presenters. You look beautiful. There's nothing wrong with that. They want to replicate the look. And then, of course, going to the seamstress is not cheap. Buying the cloth. I mean, I always say that between buying a dress and having it sewn, there is not much difference. There's no difference, honestly. Because you have to pay for the material and then go to the designer. And the charge to, when you add it, you realize that it's the same. So everyone and what they are looking for, there's nothing wrong with dressing up, looking nice and all that. I think the challenge is that people don't know that for people like you, it is sponsored. It's sponsored. So if you are a younger lady and you want to look like Bella, then that's going to be a challenge because you are in school, you are not working. How do you afford it? Yet they want to do that. They want to hold iPhone 13 Pro because they've seen some. I think it's just really, they should know that TV, as I always say, is make believe. It's about what people see.
Packaging,
great. It's marketing. I mean, let's face it, those days we watched GTV and Auntie Beatrice Edu and co wore those clothes. Didn't we used to admire it?
We did.
But you know that maybe your bucket
times have changed. we don't like the slits and kaba every day. We change I mean, look at how we're all looking all stylish, you know. It might cost, but it's all sponsorship. So please don't look at us and think that we're spending half our income on that. And shortly we'll be speaking to the South African High Commissioner to Ghana, Miss Grace Janet Mason. She's here and we'll be speaking to her shortly. But I want Mona to also speak on this. We'll take a break with them. We'll come back and allow you to speak to them. You get to call in and speak to your favorite personalities. But Mona, now the other buyers, women against women. That's also another major challenge. I like how Aisha just breathed in and out. She must have a lot to say about it. But for you, Mona?
I think women, we are our own enemies.
A lot of women don't like it when we say that. They say it's wrong and you're feeding into a narrative that's totally wrong.
They are just trying to be hypocritical about it. A lot of us are hypocrites. Let me tell you something.
Okay.
So I had this concept to organize an event for just the female artists in Ghana. I said, all female artists concert, unity concert. Then I called this female artist. Oh, who else is on board? Then I mentioned, oh, this is on board, this is on board. Oh, I'm not cool with her, so if she's on board, I'm not coming. You know, so these artists ended up frustrating my life. So I had to change the concept of the event.
But can you blame them?
Well,
if they don't agree with the person, of course, they won't want to be on the same platform with the person. There must be a history to it. And if you're not privy to that information, you might look at it wrongly from the outside.
Bella, you see, women are such that when a woman is laughing with you, your fellow woman is laughing with you or telling you, oh, Bella, you look great, I like your hair. Where did you make your hair? The moment you turn around, oh, it's not like it's nice, cry. That's women.
Some women.
Some, not all of us.
That's like 90% of women.
Hey, 90%, yes. Based on what study?
90% of women. Oh, have you noticed that, oh, Bella speaks impeccable English on TV? Bella, oh, sir. Yeah, I don't think so. Then they'll go and call another TV presenter. Oh, I think she's better than Bella. That's women for you. Now, a woman is maybe in a very big position whereby you have that talent.
Yeah.
And then it's so easier for her to recommend you, oh, why don't you go for Aisha? Aisha is capable of doing this. You know what? Oh, I have a niece, my cousin's niece, who just got out of school. We can fix her there. We can fix her there. And then you, the one having the talent, you are there, you are jobless. Do you understand? And these are some of the reasons why even our big men, our politicians, they don't want to even take their kids to any hospital in Ghana here, because they know most of the doctors, they graduated by who you know. Most.
Oh, you have no proof.
Do you get it? No. You see why I say I don't want to do politics? No, these are things that happens all the time. Because even the results that you need to enter the medical school, maybe you didn't get it. You're supposed to go and rewrite. But then you have a big person there that a family member knows.
So they help you get in.
Yes. Yeah. Then they put you there. And then you call yourself a brain surgeon and you go and be leaving seizures in people's brain. And then you stitch it. And the seizures is right in the person's brain. Do you understand? Now, in Ghana here or the world as a whole, women, we are our own enemies. When we say they don't like the hard truth, but Bella, that is the truth.
Are you also guilty as charged?
Yes, I'm guilty.
So you do that too?
Yes, I do that sometimes.
Okay.
When you piss me off.
Or when someone pisses you off,
yes,
you tell the person your hair is nice and walk away and say that, but your wig is not nice.
I mean, I would just be like, oh, your hair is nice. Okay, no, I'm not that type though. I will confront the issue with you. Okay. That's me. Okay. But I don't laugh. If I don't like you, it's going to be so difficult for me to say, Bella, your hair is nice. If I don't like Bella, when I see you, I pass. I won't greet you because I don't want to be a hypocrite. So then when you have the effrontery to stop me and be like, Mona, why do you just walk off? You saw me, you didn't say hello. Then I will come and tell you, Bella, the other time you did this, I didn't like it. And that's the reason why I decided not to say hello. Oh, Mona, is that so? Oh, I'm sorry. Then we are cool. But those who say, Bella, you're looking nice, and you turn around and then they say something ill about you, your own friend that, you know, you probably believe in her that, okay, let's do this events together. Let's mastermind this program together. Your friend is going behind your back to go get somebody else to execute your invention. Do you understand?
Yeah.
And women do that. You see, so the downfall of a woman is not a man.
It's a woman.
It's another woman.
Hold on with that thought. See how the men are jubilating.
Excited.
Okay. So Miss Gration, it's Mason. She's the High Commissioner, South African High Commissioner to Ghana. She was actually also, applauding Mona for that. I'm wondering why she's doing so, but she'll join us shortly so we can have a conversation. Ladies, hold your horses. We'll come back and continue this conversation. Let's speak to the High Commissioner just briefly, and we'll come back and wrap this up. We're talking International Women's Day, and there's a lot more to discuss on the show. And we'll also give you that chance to call in and speak to Aisha Yakubu, to Jifa Bampo, and also to Mona Gucci. So please stick and stay. We'll be right back. Keep watching.